Good day. Welcome. I'm Jacqueline Richards, mortgage specialist and author of Yoga for Your Personal Finances. I'm so glad you're coming to spend your laugh, lunch, and learn hour with us. And I'm so excited about who's going to be presenting today. While I'm a mortgage specialist and a yoga instructor, I want to believe that I know absolutely everything, but you know as well as I do, we do not know everything. And today I'm so glad to have Pamela here with us because she's going to talk about things I have no idea about, but I have friends and family who will be wanting to know exactly what Pamela's going to talk to us about. I also want to say, I'm sure she has my bio memorized, but I don't have hers memorized. So I'm going to be smart because this is the time where we need to think more about what we can do with some help. This is a situation where we want to know that people are going to be okay extending out a virtual hand. So this is my virtual hand. I'm so glad Pamela's here with us. She's a butterfly holistic nutritionist. And so I want to say that properly because what she's going to talk to us about is so incredibly inspiring. You know, she is an extraordinary woman. She's got a lot of letters after her name, and she's busy helping people with thyroid conditions. Have you heard about that before? I have one of my clients who were dealing with that and had no idea what her next steps would be. This condition can be symptom-free. Pamela's going to speak to that. Pamela Barton has her own practice, her own personal practice, and she's gone online and she can be offline. And she's working with people all over the world to resolve their thyroid symptoms. And for the past decade, she's been doing and researching the latest research. I'm so glad she's here. And I keep saying I'm so glad. I am tremendously pleased that she's here with us. And she's going to go over these 4 things that you would have read when you signed up to hear her speak to us. 4 things, a simple 4 things, because it's all about simplicity. She's going to tell us about how we would increase our energy and be more proactive. That's me needing to be more proactive. She's going to help us understand how to support our hormones based on a food basis approach. And then she's going to tell us how to be successful feeding ourselves and our families with really good quality foods all the time. I'm Jacqueline Richards, and Pamela Barton is here with us. Thank you so much.
Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for the introduction. You've just read in my little bottom things, the things I offer in my practice. What actually I wanted to talk to you about today were why we're getting stuck when trying to solve our health issues. So you're recording this, and I hope this is fine.
Absolutely, thumbs up.
Yeah. Right, awesome. So basically, what that's basically a timely presentation, because right now we all kind of feel our life has been turned upside down. We can't go about our life like we used to in the past. And even though we're a species that is easy to adapt as a species, there are lots of us who struggle, right? And now is really the time where we kind of understand more about ourselves. Are we getting stuck easily, or are we, fine? Yeah, I'm just doing things differently. I'm still good. Everything is fine. And, there's no right or wrong. And it's not about, pointing fingers. It's all about realizing where we are in these times and what mindset accompanies this, right? And when we talk about health, and that's what I'm here to talk about, health and disease manifests when we're kind of stuck in the way we think and in the way we go about in our lives. So it's kind of similar to what we're experiencing right now in that situation, right? Some of us are stuck, some of us are not. The difference and how we handle this. And this is really the big piece, the big puzzle piece of when you're trying to solve a health condition. So I work a lot with people with chronic health conditions. So some things that people have already for years, and they can't really figure out what's going on and what to do, what the next steps should be. So I've spoken to a lot of people over the last years and years. And what I always found fascinating is to find out, why are we not able to solve our problems, right? Like, because it could be so simple as, like you do this and then you feel better. But it's not, right? We all know this. It's not that simple, because if it would just be one product or one thing we need to do and all our problems go away, we would all do it, right?
Oh,
So
yes.
we have to dig a little bit deeper to really figure out what's going on. And this is where I come in most of the time, because I like to be a detective. I like to find out what's going on. Like, why are we presenting with this? And why are we experiencing those symptoms? What's going on? And it's not that simple then, just tweak a little bit of diet here, tweak a little bit here and there. It's much bigger than that in most cases. And so as I mentioned, I've spoken to a lot of people over the last few years. And what I've discovered is really what I want to share with you today. I have discovered that people have a relationship with their condition or their symptoms. They have a relationship. And that relationship really determines the outcome of what they're trying to do, right? If they're trying to do something. Not everyone wants to solve the health issue, but those people who do, it really determines what is your relationship with your health condition. And the more I talked about people, I kind of figured out there are 4 different types of relationships people can have with their condition, with their symptoms, I should say. So the first relationship type, I call them, you have an awareness. You have an awareness that something is not right. Maybe you've been diagnosed, your doctor told you, for example, you have high blood pressure, or you need to lose weight, things are not going in the right direction. So either it has been brought to your attention, now you're aware, or you can feel it, right? For example, if we talk about fatigue, that's something that I talk a lot about. People feel tired. So you feel it, right? It's there. You can feel it, you're tired, and you think it's probably not normal, but that's about it. That's where the train of thought stops. So you are aware, and maybe sometimes you go on Google and you try and find out, okay, what could I do, like this or that, but it's still not, I would say, painful enough for you to take action. But you're aware. You're kind of like, oh yeah, maybe I should do something about it, but I don't know exactly what, and so let's just wait. That's a very common relationship we have. You can also have a relationship, what I call like being of interaction. So you interact with it because now you know, and then you move into the state, okay, I'm going to solve this. So I'm going to see this practitioner, I'm going to do this type of exercise, and my life now evolves around solving this puzzle. And you're being very active, so you're sort of actively seeking for an answer, right? Action taker. If you're an action taker in general, that's probably you. You have something, you don't like it, you're gonna go look for answers, right? And those are the people, typically, they try everything out. They try this, they try that, because they really want to get better.
Right.
And sometimes they get better and they see success, but also they can get stuck at some point where they say, I got this far, but I'm not getting further. Like, it's just not moving the needle all the way, right? So, and then they're frustrated because they say, well, so now what? Because I'm doing everything, right? I'm trying everything that people tell me to do, and what am I going to do, right?
Right.
So I usually talk to either this first type, being aware, or the second type of I'm taking action, right? And I interact with it. But there's also the type where you sort of have a state of cohabitation, I call it, because you now decided to, you live with your symptoms, right? And you have a mutual understanding or an agreement. You just don't, you leave each other alone, right? It's there, but it's not a priority. right? Other things are more of a priority. And I see this often with moms, right? When moms have something and they have kids, when my kids comes first and then comes my husband and this comes first and that comes first and there's no time for me, right? That's often what we see, right? It's like, I can't be bothered with my own stuff right now, even though it would be good, but like I'm not,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think everyone can relate. I'm a mom too, and I catch myself often in this situation where I said, well, now, especially now, should really get my butt off my seat and should move, right? But then, oh, I do this first, I do that first, and then, oh, the day's gone. Well, okay, I try again tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
But this is also goes a little further, because this is also the state where we can accept it, right? We say, well, that's fine.
Okay.
I am fatigued, I have high blood pressure, I am overweight, but what can I do about it? Nothing. So I'm just going to leave everything as is. And then the fourth state, where I hope that not a lot of people get to or are in there, is what I call the state of connected. You are connected with your health situation and your symptoms, because they become your identity. You define yourself by the way you feel. You define yourself by who you are. And I actually know people where they're heavily overweight and they feel that they need to live this type of life. They say, oh, I can't do this because I'm overweight, and I can't do that because I'm overweight. And I also can't have friends who are skinny because that doesn't work for me. I need to have people who can relate to how I feel. So they have friends who are kind of in a similar boat. And it's not to be judgy, right? This is just something that we cultivate because we have incorporated how we feel and what we have as a condition as part of our identity. Okay. And some people feel very happy in that circle that they create, because they have their friends, they have their support, they might have co-worker, and it all evolves around how they feel, right? And what they can't do, or only the things they can do. And that can actually also be dangerous if those people try and get unstuck, because they might lose their identity, right? Which would cause a whole other slew of problems. So you have to be really careful with who you're talking to and what state they're in. So I gave them those names because this is just trends that I'm seeing from talking to so many people, is they come with their own mindset about how they think about themselves and their condition. And this was such a revelation for me, because it really comes down to how I, as a practitioner, can help people, right? And it's also like, what can I provide to them? And when you're, so you kind of need to know where on this spectrum you kind of fall in, because that determines if I, as a practitioner, will be able to help you solve anything, or if I can say, well, I don't think it's going to work, and it's really important that we have this discussion around it. Yeah. And I actually, if we still have time, I actually would like to do a little drawing on my improvised whiteboard here.
Yeah.
Because there's something else I want to show you that I've also discovered. So let me just kind of stand up and
absolutely.
All right, so mind my drawing. I'm not a good drawer, but here we go. So let's just say we're either in the state of awareness. Can you see this? Is this?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so we're either in the state of awareness. Well, we kind of know about it, but we're not ready to do anything. Or we are in the state of interaction, where we decided now it's a good time to do something about it, and we're working on it.
Okay.
Then we have the cohabitation, where we kind of say, well, not now. It's not a priority. I'm just gonna live with it. And we have the connectedness, where this is part of your identity, right? So it's like sort of like 4 different categories, if you will. And the funny thing is also, we move through them because we're not always the same, because especially when we have a chronic condition, a long-term condition, we move through different states. first we get told we have something, then we might get really active and say, oh, I'm going to solve this. Or we say, okay, I have this, but I'm just going to not do anything about it right now. Or we get aware that we have something and, oh, this is me now. I need to change my life and make sure I can live with this still. But sometimes if we hear and we don't see the results we want to see, we move into here as well. Oh yeah, I'm just accepting it now. I've tried everything, it's not working.
Yeah.
Or we hear in the state of, I haven't done anything as a priority, but now I'm going to do something about it because now it really starts to bother me, right? So we're not always just in the same state. We move through these states, right? And then like this is this vicious cycle. Here's the thing, it's a cycle. We're not getting out of it, right? We still haven't solved the initial problem where we're trying to solve. And especially, and I said always like, yeah, where are you? And then they tell me, and I says, okay, so what are you doing about it? And some people say, I've tried this and this and this and this and this. He says, yeah, but you come to me today, you're still here. So we still need to continue the conversation, what's going on.
Love that. Yep.
So what I've also discovered is through my training and through, I have done a ton of things on this because this really bugged me. And because when I was diagnosed with my health condition, I was aware, I started doing all kinds of stuff, and then I got stuck. And I said, there must be a way out. This can't be it. We can't just always stay in this. We want to be symptom-free, right? We don't want to live a life with, oh, today I have this and I have that.
Yeah.
At least that's not what I wanted, right? I'm the type of person who says that I don't want this. So then I've discovered what we really want is what I call bliss, right? This is what we really want. So I draw a nice heart around it.
I like that.
And so what does bliss stand for? It's an acronym because it stands for a body. And that there, I mean, like your disease, your symptoms, your physical stuff, right? Then the L stands for love, because love is really important. Self-love, love for others, really important when we want to heal. Intuition, because we also need to know what we need to do. And our intuition tells us this, right?
Yeah.
And then we want to have it, put it here so you can still see it. So the first one stands for stress. And we don't want to have stress. We want to have adequate tools to deal with this, because 98% of all chronic conditions has a stress component. So we cannot neglect this. We always need to look at stress. And there are many different forms of stress. And sometimes we're not even aware of it. So we need to dig into that. And of course, we also want to sleep. And we want to sleep because that's the only way our body regenerates, repairs itself, and rejuvenates. And only then can we heal and solve health issues, right? And sleep is also like 36% of Canadians, it's a lot, has some kind of a dysfunctional sleep pattern in adults. And that's actually rising. So we're approaching closer to 50%, which is alarming, right? Because if we're not sleeping properly, that will create a whole lot of new problems.
Exactly. Okay.
So out of this and get into here. And I don't know if you can still see this.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see that?
Yep.
All right, so this is what I've created. It's called HEAL, but it stands for Holistic Energy Alignment. Holistic Energy Alignment.
Okay.
So
Wow.
really what needs to bridge the gap. And my programs are incorporating all of these things that you have on the bliss side and helps you bridge this gap. That's really what I've developed and what all my programs are about. And the HEAR programs is sort of an umbrella of everything that I've created. And currently my absolute brand new launch is my thyroid energy reboot. And that's the first one to aim for bliss. And it's geared towards people with thyroid conditions who have these debilitating fatigue and who feel they're impacted in their life and how they live their life, and they feel unproductive and they feel like they can't live to their fullest potential. That is the first online group coaching program I've created in this series.
Okay.
Just launched this week, so it's absolutely brand new. But this is really the ulterior motive, to get everyone into bliss, solve their fatigue, make their thyroid run so much better. And I can tell you from my own experience, because I have thyroid issues, I have Hashimoto's and an active thyroid.
Okay.
I have no symptoms. I live symptom-free because I have worked on this, and I still do. It's a continuous journey that you have to be on if you want to stay symptom-free and live the life that you want. COVID-19 and sleep. Yes. So, going back to sleep is, especially right now, is important, right? Because we need our immune system to be strong. And right now, actually, I'm doing a ton of immune support for people. I have a 4-week immune support program where people want the guidance and want to understand their unique situation and how they can improve. And sleep is always the number one recommendation. And it's easier now than ever to do this because we're home all day, right? So we can't use the excuse, well, I'm in my office 15 hours a day and I don't have time. Right now it's really the time, but we have to overcome maybe some challenges with everyone's home and it's always busy, and there are kids and there's still work and everything. But this is all about priorities again, right? And if you're in here in the cohabitation state, it might be really challenging for you right now to do this advice, right? But this is important to recognize, where are you, right? Where are you, and how can you move in a different direction, possibly, or best, going down, not sideways.
Okay. That's what it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, does that make any sense at all?
That makes tons of sense. I have to tell you, I love the bliss and about the body, love and intuition connected together with sleep, stress and sleep. I think we underestimate what sleep does for us. So I know people who take naps during the day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't nap. And part of it is, if I nap, I would have lost that time to be productive during my day. I'm not sure that's such a smart idea.
Yes. Well, you see, here's my take on this. There's never a right or wrong. The most important thing, in my opinion, is the quality of your sleep. You have to protect the quality of your sleep under all circumstances. Yes, we also want to make sure you get 7 till 9 hours of sleep per day. We kind of know that's the average of that people need. But I know people who sleep 9, 10 hours where you think, oh, that would be great. It's not, because they never feel rested. They're always tired.
Wow.
So it's about the quality of your sleep. And that's really what we're looking at. And then it doesn't really matter if you say, well, I don't really want to nap. You don't have to. If you say, I love my naps and I don't want to give them up, you don't have to either.
Right.
This is really about what works for you. And since we're all biochemically individual, we can't just prescribe a nap for everyone and say, well, this is the only way you can do it. And then, if you don't do it, it's not going to work. That's not holistic, and it's also not reality. And so never ever feel guilty about anything that you read in the media. Oh, I'm not doing this, and like, am I, putting myself in harm now because I'm not doing this?
Yeah.
Never ever even go that route. It's never good advice.
Mm-hmm.
There's also lots of false advice out there, always. And it's also, if it doesn't resonate with you, it might not work for you. That's also always a good indicator to find out if, this advice might be something for you or not.
Yeah. I love you said indicators. And when I introduced you, it was all about what's the offers that you have. And I did not, as people would have been on, the 4 different relationships people that have with their health issues. And I'm so glad you put it so simply in those 4 pieces to have us understand, here's what the relationships look like, and here's how you can help heal it. I think that was a fantastic opportunity for you to go back and say, Jacqueline, you know what? This is what you wanted to say about the 4 different types, but also the success to resolve. I am so glad you came here and to tell us, and I love that we can read what you wrote.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's like my first time I'm trying this out on my improvised whiteboard here.
Yeah.
But this is really my thing. I'm interested in this heal part because
Yeah.
I know all about these states, and I've heard all of the excuses. I have heard all of the situations. There's nothing new under the sun that someone would tell me about their personal situation. But what I don't hear very often is people who went from there to there. That is something that you don't find very often. But that's, for me, the intriguing part, because I want to see people here. Because just imagine if we were all living in bliss, like, how would our world look like, right? If we can live up to fullest potential at any time, we can fulfill what we're put on earth to do, because there's nothing holding us back. We have all the energy we need. We jump out of bed in the morning, like a toddler who's wide awake, kind of, here I am, and then we have all the energy we need until we go to bed at night, and that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be tired when it's bedtime. Then we have a fantastic sleep, and we repeat the next day, right? And that's really what I wish for everybody, because we have so much potential in us as humans, and it's a shame if we can't live it, and if we can't fully express ourselves, just because we don't feel for it and we don't feel up for it. And that's something that I really want to help people solve. This is really important to me, because I know bliss is awesome. Bliss is awesome. Bliss is where we want to be.
I think that's where we all want to be. And your contact information, thank you so much. We've got, and I will ask you to say it out loud. I know that will be on, that is on the invitation, but if you can let us know, what website, what email do we be in touch with you at?
Yes. So my email address is pamela@butterflyholisticnutrition.ca. It's a very long word, butterflyholisticnutrition.ca.
Yeah.
And Pamela's my name. So this is my email address. I have 2 websites right now. So if you're interested in watching the thyroid fatigue solution, that's the first of my HEAL programs. It's an online group coaching program. So you go to thyroidfatiguesolution.com. That's where you find the registration for the webinar that you can there to get my personal website at butterflyholisticnutrition.ca. That's my my practice website, where I have my blog and where I have all kinds of other information, and where also my social media contacts are listed.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm glad you said yes. I can be in my bliss as I take a look at your website and all of your offerings. Thank you so much for being with us. And perhaps because there's a lot of information we weren't able to access from you. If you would come out again and just update us on what is happening and what we can do and how we can do it and how we can use our intuition to allow love for our mind and our body and our spirit.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to come back. Thank you so much for inviting me, Jacqueline. It's been my pleasure.
Oh, beautiful. And so on that beautiful note, thank you so much, everyone who has taken a look and thought more about where they would be in bliss and how can we heal. Have a fantastic day. Namaste.